Good morning, everyone. This is Karen, and we are on our way to Goodwill as usual. Today is Tuesday, and I have just been plugging in, working, listing. I start to prepare for fourth quarter a little bit in July, so that is what's going on. I'm trying to build my numbers in my eBay store. All right, let's get to the thrift store. Let's see what we can find to flip for a profit. So in this part of the video, I just want to take a couple of moments to tell you about this man whose name is David. David saw me in Goodwill today, and we had met prior. He attended my PA Resellers 2020 meetup, and David came as a person looking to get a little bit more information. He was a part-time seller on eBay, and he was looking to up his game. So he noticed me today in the store and said, "Are you Lavender Clothesline?" And I said, "I am." And he said, "I attended your PA Resellers meetup, and I wanted to let you know I am selling full-time now on eBay." Nothing could just thrill me more to hear your stories, to know that maybe I've had some small part in encouraging you guys. That is my heart, and that is the main reason that I do YouTube, is to somehow just lighten your day or encourage you in some way. So when a person comes up to me in the store, you guys have no idea how much this thrills me. So David, thank you so much for letting me know that I had a small part in encouraging you to become a full-time seller. And you guys should go over and give David a follow. His information will be in the description of this video. He goes by the name Davey Urban, Daveyurban, on Instagram and also on eBay, so you can check out his store to see what he is selling. His store is on fire. So David, great job. Thank you so much again for saying hello. All right, let's get on with the rest of the video, and if you guys ever see me in the store, please always come up and say hi. So this first aisle we're going down, I believe, has become the holiday aisle. Any holiday that is in any kind of future, they just throw everything on this first aisle. But this is a Scholastic hand puppet, the teacher from the Black Lagoon, and I believe these puppets will bring anywhere between $10 and $15. Here I'm looking at fruit. You guys know I love fake fruit. I have done really well with fake fruit, and I have not seen these before. I was trying to figure out if these were like a paper mache over a plastic. So I did decide to pop them in the cart, and spoiler alert, I put those back because I felt like they were too artificial looking. The fruit that I usually purchase is very realistic and high quality. Here I was looking at this centerpiece. I thought this was pretty nice. Could have come from Michael's or a store like that, and I liked that it lit up. But when you looked at it, it wasn't a plug-in, it was battery operated. Now, I don't know that that's a deal breaker, but I felt to leave that behind. So as you can see, no real organization going on. And of course, this big hanging chandelier catches my attention because I am still not over picking up things that are way too big. That one had quite a bit of damage. So we go on to aisle number 2. Here I'm noticing some wood finials, and I'm trying to figure out if these finials, first I thought they were furniture feet, but because of the shape of them, I'm pretty convinced they're finials. That's my thinking anyway, just sharing my brain with you guys, pretty scary. And I put them in the cart because nowadays people are doing so many different projects, so many do-it-yourselfers, that things like that can be quite costly, and I will do well with those. So those stay in my cart, and I did purchase those. Now what I do is measure it circumference-wise, lengthwise, and the size of the screw. And we are on to 2 mugs, Audubon mugs with birds on them. And I don't know my bird, so I don't know, black-winged yellowbird of some sort. Leave a comment down below if you know what bird that is. $3.99 for the 2 cups. And I will not tell you if I kept those or not. You'll have to watch a whole video in the near future. Now, a lot of times the items that I'm looking at, I know right away I'm not going to purchase them, but like I said, education is everything the way I sell. Because I spread myself so thin over all the niches, I want to learn as much as I can, and the best place to do it is in a thrift store. Here I'm looking at this picture frame. Now, I kind of felt this was not high quality, but I have sold photo frames for $150 a piece. So when I see something that looks a little bit different, I'm sure to pick it up and take a good look at it. There's a little porcelain egg. I really don't do a lot of eggs or bells, you know, things like that that are really, I don't know, not super in style. I try not to pick up too many of them, if at all. Now, if it's something like Fenton or a name that I know and is highly collected, I will pick those up. Here I'm looking at vinyl wall covering. I did not like the pattern on that. Again, figurines really have to be well painted for me to pick them up or take a look at them. There are quite a few music box figurines in this store. I really liked the aesthetic of this little cup, but it was a candle. I might have picked that up, that little moon cup, if it was empty. There I was just looking at some vine ripened tomatoes. And here I'm looking at a Lily Pulitzer little notepad holder. I went back and forth on this, to tell you the truth. If it was sealed, I definitely would have picked that up. I don't imagine that this would have sold for more than $8, $10, but sometimes I pick up things in that price range if it is super quick to flip and if I buy in really low. But that, because it was open and it was a full $2, I decided not to get that. I have seen these warming plates quite a bit, and to tell you the truth, I have not looked those up. I have to make it my business to do that. I can't imagine that that would bring a lot of money. I think we're all familiar with this type of artwork. A lot of times you see these in Chinese food restaurants, and I never pick up the framed pieces. I think artwork is probably one of my slowest sellers. It does sell, but some pieces can take years to sell. So if you are into quick flipping, do not pick up art prints, because the person really has to want that aesthetic for their house. Okay, I had no idea what I was looking at. It had a headband, so you wear it on your forehead. I don't know my current movies, so I have no idea what that was for. Precious moments I never pick up. I have just really learned or remembered that Yankee Candle with the white label, the older ones, can bring very good money. So I'm just sharing that again with you guys. I think I shared that probably at the very beginning of making videos, that you want to run comps on Yankee candles and sort highest to lowest if you don't know about them. They can bring ridiculously good money. I'm talking over $100 for a Yankee candle. Here I just felt the need, my type A personality, to put those lids with the cups in case anybody didn't see them the full 12 inches away. I'm just looking at a tea kettle. This is enamel. I never pick up the ones that are chipped or rusted. I always check the inside of not only the main lid, but also the whistle spout. I do pick up sun catchers, but I wasn't quite sure what was going on with that yellow head of a cat on the black. I thought that was very strange. So I put that one back. That seemed to be just a little atomizer. Here I come upon wine glasses or champagne glasses. This one that I'm picking up on my hand, I have something very similar with a clear base in my personal collection. Mine are a little bit more finely done, and it's one thing that I have kept over the years. I bought them probably 20 or 30 years ago. I love them. Mine are from the 1930s. If that would have had a fourth glass, I would have taken those. And I'm guessing this is the green aisle. very into wipes. I look at every package of wipes. When I'm in Goodwill, if you meet up with me, I'm going to hand you a wipe. I go around handing wipes to everybody. All my friends know I have wipes in my handbag. I think this is such a germy job that I just need everybody to wipe their hands. How crazy is that? Okay, this green apple, I kind of thought this was good. But look at the bottom. The bottom does not look good. If it would have been a better bottom, I might have picked that up. That'd be great on a teacher's desk or, I don't know, in a kitchen. Here's your present, an empty box from a wig. The other day, a couple of us saw an empty box from something. I can't remember what it was, and they wanted $10 for the box. Goodwill is just getting crazier and crazier. Now, like I mentioned before, this Goodwill has gone up dramatically in price in the clothing. So more and more, I am just zeroing in on hard goods. I will still pick up clothing, so hard goods are going to be even more of a focus than it has been for me. This is just Cutter and Buck. I don't pick up that clothing or any of the accessories as a general rule. I have to say I really like these baker's racks that Goodwill is now using to bring the new inventory out. And here I come across just a simple leather crossbody, I don't know, just a little crossbody pouch. Nice leather, in the cart it goes. I don't care if it has branding or not. I love a good leather bag. I think if this tray would have had a different aesthetic, now it is Burke holders, new and used cars, Willow Street, Pennsylvania. I don't know. I didn't really like the aesthetic of the old cars. Would it have sold? Yeah, but I think that wouldn't have brought more than $15. And sometimes you're just not feeling it, and it's okay to trust your gut. I mean, we're our own bosses, right? So if you're not enjoying what you're selling, unless it brings crazy high money, I say no. Here I'm finding just a bag of different stationery. Sometimes I pick that up for myself, for little thank you cards, but right now I have enough. It's funny because right now I have a vest that's very good that has no buttons. So there I was trying to figure out if there'd be enough buttons for that vest. I'm going to need to carry the vest around to know how big the buttonhole is. But sooner or later I will sell it. It's a Southwestern print. So here I'm just showing you what I've put in my cart when I had the camera off. These pots are Essence tabletops, and I'm pretty sure these weren't worth anything, but when I see something like this, I run a comp because you never know when something is going to bring a higher price. Here I found, I believe this is a Greek doll or a Turkish doll, and my grandfather, Imitere Papu, that's my mother's father, was from Greece, and I received a doll like that when I was younger. Both my sister and I received a doll from Greece, so I think it's just a good memory, but I did comp her and she wasn't worth it, so I put her back. Back to the pots. So as you can see, I have 3 pots with lids in very good condition. Now, I thought that the shipping would kill these unless they had very high profit, which they did not. So I lined up the pots and put them back. You can see there are a few more pieces another seller had put in her cart. That's my girlfriend Kim, and we both decided these were not worth it, but I did want to line them up in case somebody else, wanted this set, that they'd all be together. Okay, here is a Christmas dress. I thought, how fun would this be for one of those ugly Christmas sweater parties that you could wear a full dress. $10 though for a very cheaply made dress. I did give this thought for a while, but I was thinking I'd really want to make like 35, like sell it for 35. So I put it in my cart, ran comps, could not find a comp, but considered that for quite a while. The back aisle in this store against the wall is usually electronics, lamps, sometimes holidays mixed into this. And these lamps looked interesting. I think there was just a fruit pattern going on in the store between the big fruit I put in my cart. There was fruit on pots and pans. We just had a lot of fruit. It was a fruit kind of day. I think that's what made me look at those. My brain was just looking for fruit. And it's so funny because I would never have picked up those lamps, but I needed to look at them and give them the tap test. It's funny when you get on a theme and you know, you feel like you're supposed to put it all in your cart, and it's like, oh, wait a second, this is not going to bring any money. But I did kind of like this little lampshade. Sometimes you have a little story in your head and you think somebody's going to need this, kind of like fly fishing and duck hunting for a little cabin, and yeah, I put that back too. Came to my senses. There are quite a few resellers that pick up all kinds of kitchen gadgets, electronics, different small appliances. It's really a thing in this store. So this store is on it. They are always putting out a ton of that type of item. I do sell quite a bit of yardage of material. Most times I'm finding it on the bolt, buying it that way, and then taking it off the bolt. Here's another little foreign doll. And I thought this pot was quite good for some reason. But again, I didn't think it would bring enough profit. So back to yardage of material. If I pick up yardage of material that is like 20 yards, sometimes I sell it by the yard. I do not pre-cut it. I just say like $18.99 per yard. That way, if somebody orders more than 1 yard, I then go ahead and cut it and give them it as one piece, if that makes sense. So at any given time, I could have, 4 or 5 different types of material in my store. Little Hummel plaques, $1.99 each. I think this was a bag of lava rocks, maybe for a grill, an outdoor grill. Yikes. That's all I got to say about that. Yikes. So as you can see from my last thrifting video, look how cute that dog is, the shelves are quite empty. So I will try to get to this store quite often, because when they empty it out like this, they are throwing everything in a cart coming down the aisle, and then it gets thrown into the bins and new stuff comes out. Here I rounded the corner and there was this large blue cart of really a mishmash of everything. So I wasn't quite sure whether this was stuff being taken off the floor or coming back out onto the floor. Sometimes I think when they clean up or they just pull things, they just throw it into a cart like this. So here is an audio CD collection. This is Charity Gospel Tape Ministries. There are different ministries whose media can bring very, very good money. This I had to comp, and this one did not bring good money. But I have sold cases of Joyce Myers, of Billy Graham, all different Basic Life Institute, Dave Ramsey, those types of big ministries, the audio media, the lessons, any kind of program can bring very good money. You want to run a comp on those. Sometimes they can bring hundreds of dollars. I always check those. Here I'm realizing how well made this broom is. So it's got a natural handle. Look how it's woven, right where the broom meets the stick. I thought this is great for a primitive little whisk broom, handmade. Yes, please put that in the cart. So easy to ship. Can we all appreciate how easy it is to ship a whisk broom? Lately I've been shipping, as usual, quite craziness. But as long as, the sales are coming in, I will ship it. I kind of felt like I was in the bins, but I wasn't. This was the regular Goodwill retail store, I call it, which it's not really a retail store, but you know what I mean. Here is Skip Hop. The diaper bags that are skip hop that I do well with are usually the very vibrant colored ones or the ones that are like basic black or gray. But I figured the red might be good enough to pick up. There was no price tag on it when I looked, and I had to ask at the register. I do wind up purchasing this. I do well with diaper bags. I always check to make sure they are very clean. That's really important because people, don't want to buy something that's all gross to put their baby items in. So I did pick up that one. And here I'm finding an Elvis Presley bag. Very interesting. Now this wasn't a diaper bag, this was a handbag. And I noticed that the lining had the Elvis print. But I couldn't imagine that this was genuine. It was from the trademark, whoever owns the trademark for it. So I imagine the Elvis Presley Corporation, Graceland, I'm not sure. But I figured this was worth a look, but I always check the tags. Now see these little white tags? You want to see something that really shows that this bag is correct. You don't want to get in trouble for selling bags that aren't genuine. So the more I looked at this, the more that looked fake, and I put that one back. It's not worth it to my store to sell something that's not genuine. Now, if it turned out that it was real, then I just, made a mistake that way. I'd rather do that than pick up something and take a chance it wasn't genuine. Here I'm just perusing the linens. The price point on linens has not gone up as much as clothing. So while I was paying like between $250 and $350, now I'm paying $350 to $550. Not horrible, but it really has to be good quality. That was a scarf, I think. Kind of like a shawl wrap, $550, and very acrylic, very cheaply made, not worth it. So there you're seeing that blue bin again. I always try to remember to show you guys prices so that we can all know what the buy-in is for it, because to me the most important thing is how much money the thing actually sold for, but it's also very important to know what each person is paying for things. So somebody can show something on YouTube or anywhere else and say, oh, I sold this for $30, and you think, wow, that's wonderful. But if they paid $20, it's not so wonderful after fees. So that's just my 2 cents. To me, it's really important to know what people are paying and what the item is really selling for. Here is a soft sculpture. This is something that is a craft that you buy at, probably like Michael's or something like that, where you cut the pieces out and you stuff them. These have the weighted bases, so these do stand up. A little nativity. So I call these soft sculpture. I don't know if that's correct, but here I opened the bag to make sure they are clean, and they are. I thought this would be really a nice thing for a young family or with young children to have in their house, because sometimes the kids want to touch the nativity pieces, and it's great. If you have small kids, they can kind of play with the different, pieces while they learn the story. $7.75. That is a little bit of a high price, but LL Bean. This is a men's medium, good color, very clean, warm fleece, LL Bean, yes. So here I'm just going over to show you what has stayed in my cart. I picked up this belt. I think this was Old Navy, something similar. Still have the whisk broom. I guess this is kind of like my version of a haul right in the store. There is my water bottle with iced tea. I brew my own green tea and bring it with me. I am really frugal sometimes. It's not only being frugal, I really like to have a drink or something to snack on, when you're shopping long hours. So just a quick peek at the shoes. I sell a lot of shoes, guys. If you look at the solds in my store, you can always see every week I have shoes going out. This morning I shipped out a pair of pink cycle shoes, spin shoes, the shoes that you clip into the pedals of the bike. And what did I get for those? I think $40, and I paid $7.47. I'll try to remember to insert a screenshot of those so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't like shoes with crepe soles. That's why I'm showing these Cabela shoes. Those soles drive me crazy because the minute you wear them, they look dirty. If those were Carhartts, I probably would have picked them up. Here is a pair of Timberland boots, but they were a very small size. Not a lot of sneakers on these racks. I mean, there's a few. You see a Jumpman, some Nikes, but the sneaker resellers are on it in these stores. So here is a little screenshot of the shoes I was talking about. Just a pair of pink cycle shoes. These are used for outdoor cycling and also indoor cycling on a bike like a real rider or something like that. You clip in, and these are spin shoes, $40, and I paid $7.47. This is a shot of what the bottoms look like. So if you see these type of shoes in a thrift store or a yard sale, you can go ahead and comp them by the brand name. Most times these bring very good money. Here I'm just going to insert a few photos of things that I've been selling so we can all keep it real of what's really selling. I always like to report back here on YouTube and also on Instagram. Lots of YouTubers showing all kinds of things they're buying, but I think super important for us to report what we're selling, what's actually making the money. Soft Surroundings pair of cargo pants, these were new. They brought $44.50. Next up, a top. I've had this for a while. This is Nordstrom, $34.99. Beautiful, like a rose gold sequin. Here is a hat that I've had for well over a year, the Olympic rings. I guess we all know why this sold during this time. $19.99. I paid $2.50 for this hat, so not bad. Here are the Can cats. These are the cats I just recently showed in a haul video, probably the last haul video I did, and they brought $35. Next up, the same video, wooden bowls, so I think it might be people that are watching the video. $89.50 for this dough bowl, just beautiful, and I actually shipped that out this morning. Wasn't too bad to ship. Here is the Gunne Sacks dress. This is a CottageCore Prairie dress, I called it, $74.99. So pretty, just so feminine, just beautifully made. This was a makeup palette that I found brand new. I always make sure the makeup that I pick up is brand new, and you can tell it's brand new. $19.99, Urban Decay. This was their cherry palette or naked cherry palette. These are the Johnny Was shorts that I showed probably a couple of months ago. $61. Johnny Was always brings the money for me, always. And plus, it's my favorite brand to wear. This is a Vera Bradley, I'm going to call it an overnight bag, $23.49. Vera Bradley has cooled a little bit, but if the pattern is pretty and it's still in good shape, I go ahead and pick it up. If the handles are worn or it has holes in it, I never pick it up. And this is a belt that I've had this belt for a while, $36 it brought. I did send out an offer for this belt, and whoever received the offer purchased it, so I was really glad about this sale. All right, guys, that is the video for today. Hit that like and subscribe button, and as always, go out and get what's yours.